I don't copyright to the music y'all hear in the background. I'm just free promoting that shit because I vibe with it. So yeah, I had to put that out. I don't put it in my title or nothing like that, but I know they be tripping about the shit. But it ain't my art, it ain't my creation, so I understand, I feel the same way about my shit, especially if I put it out there for money. So yeah, just to let you know, I don't own music rights or none of that shit. I'm just free promotion. I'm about to show y'all how though after I put this vibes out. And I learned this from Baghdad by being at home. You know, the power of the internet. People on this motherfucker all across the globe. Some teaching you shit, some entertaining you a bit, and some you want to stay away from. But nevertheless, if you found your way to this live broadcast or the replay, peace and blessings and welcome. I'm Aaron Glenn, a private personal consultant. I'm all about making money online and mental health awareness. The two things I care about most. The two things I can educate you on. But nevertheless, today is June 23rd. This month going by quick. I'm really waiting till next month for them to send me my little check on the 15th. I'll show y'all about that too and how you could capitalize on these opportunities. Just got done doing something for my moms. Now that that's over with, I'm doing something for me. And if you got a mom out there, make sure y'all respect your elders, respect your parents. You only get one mom, one dad. No matter if you like them or not, respect them, Add days, add years to your life. We all got a due date, but in the meantime, you want to prolong that shit. Don't rush into it. Love my mom. I learned how to write. I learned manners. I learned a lot from my mom. A lot of hers through me. So yeah, she sat down, taught me the difference between a lot of things, and I'm gonna keep those to myself, to help me through life. A lot of tools, useful tools that just people compliment me all the time, and they just really complimented my mom. And I learned from any and everybody, but that's a person that helped mold and nourish me to who I am. Of course, I'm my own person. I do as I please, and not everything reflects back on my mom. But as far as how I write, my mannerism, and a couple other things, how to love, that all comes from my mother. And that don't mean just because I taught how to love, don't mean I'm gonna be out here being dumb. She told me like, don't be letting no bitches hit on me, hit their ass back one good time and leave them alone if I can't get up out of that. And I will smack a bitch. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But I respect women, I respect ladies, and you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. But yeah, I was taught don't put hands on women, and I don't. But I'll beat a bitch ass if you play with me. And that's just real talk, fuck around, find out. And I'm not a violent person at all, but I can be, and I love it. But anyway, back to this. Just gotta let you know, don't fuck around, you confused, because I want to be nice. I'm conscious of how I'm presenting myself and how I'm engaging with people. That don't mean I'm a fucking dummy or I just gotta be nice. You fuck around, find out, as so many people do. And that's the only reason I really get into it with people, because they don't like how I talk. You don't like how I talk? Give a fuck. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. That's why God gave me a voice. But everything is always in respect, until it's disrespect. Then it's up. Like a nigga told me, oh, it's up. Okay, it's up, nigga. Whatever you wanna do, then we gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Then they would talk, go to jail, talk this stuff, do this, do that. People funny, dog. If it's up, it's stuck. But yeah, I just had to put that out there though, because I'll talk. God gave me a voice to use, just like Aaron in the Bible. He spoke for Moses. Because the nigga had issues of either courage or whatever. I don't know. But when God give you a gift, use that shit to help humanity become a better place for yourself and for others. Don't use your gift to downplay people, to cause chaos and destruction. That is not what I do. I do talk shit, but it's all in fun and games, I'm not playing with nobody, respect or dignity and nothing like that. It is what it is, like I don't mean no harm and I don't go around playing with people talking shit. So don't confuse that with what it is. And y'all probably wonder, like, why this sun is hot as hell outside? Yes, indeed. But this just a symbolic message to my peoples overseas, you know. United we stand, divided we fall. I never been overseas to Africa, which they just really divided and called it Egypt, Israel, whatever the fuck, you know. No matter how you put these invisible lines on the ground, we are is one people on this one earth, you know. Whether I've been in your country or not, it don't dictate. It don't. It don't bother me how you live, you know. What they say, clean up your own backyard first. America, we got so much bullshit going on for us to be worried about Iran, Iraq, or whoever the fuck. And my condolences to the people that lost their life or their businesses, you know, their way of providing for their families. Because I don't think nothing cool with it at all. I don't choose no side. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. And no matter about the politics, that shit ain't been helping me or my family. It don't help me put money on the table for my son. It don't help me educate him on what's important in life. It don't do anything but distract me to think about who want to do this and that. You know, the governor of Michigan, which is where I'm at, she sent out a message last night talking about I want to keep my people safe. You shouldn't be having to worry about that shit, nor should I have to be worried about that, you know? I'm not out here causing terrorist attacks or mass destruction, so why am I worried about mass repercussions or mass consequences? It's crazy, you know, but it is what it is. You just got to stay prayed up and keep your mind off the bullshit. You're going to see it regardless because it's what's going on. But that don't mean that you have to be involved. We entering the year, the Cancer season. This is like the last week before the new moon, and it rolls into the Leo, which is the fiery sign. And basically, this energy is just about shadowing. You know, you're going to see your ugly dark side like America. It's showing its ugly dark side this last week of Cancers before, you know, it really pops off or whatever. But it got a lot to do with, you know, the inner and the outer. These zodiac signs, these seasons. If you know, you know, and you'll be able to know what's going on. This is the year of the snake. The whole world is revealing itself, its ugly side, and it's shedding into a whole new consciousness, into a whole new era, into a whole new energy. So that's why all these things are happening, you know, and it's going to continue to get worse and worse as the world shows its true self and it sheds its old way of, it sheds its old ways of thinking, of being, or whatever, you know. It's just like a snake. You're too big for your old ways and you have to let it go and outgrow. So don't be ashamed or don't be afraid when your dark side starts popping out because it's a part of us, you know, it's a part of life. But that does mean now you have the chance to see what's truly going on. If you really want to truly care, if you really truly want to be involved in making it a better place for yourself or for others, if you know what I'm saying, it's time to do some inner work. And that's what this is all about this time of year, this season. I'm not big into astrology, but I do know a little bit about a little bit of everything. I don't know everything, but I know a little bit about a lot of things. Just say it like that. I'm still learning, and as I learn, stuff just makes sense, and I share it to somebody who want to know it. And that's just another way to keep you in the knowing and not afraid of what's going on. You be prepared. You kind of know what's going to happen. Not saying that you'll predict the future, but you'll have a feeling, a sense of chaos is coming, destruction is near, and how to protect and keep your peace is what it's about. And this is why I use these different tools as far as spirituality. Not to say I'm out here playing with different spirits and different, you know, practices, but what I am saying is that spirituality is a real thing, and you don't want to be spiritually lost, not having a spiritual foundation. And that's just all I'm saying. I have a spiritual foundation, and my practices keep me enlightened. And if you want to know, I'm not really claiming any religion. I grew up Baptist, semi-Christian, practice Islam, Buddhism. I studied it all. But what I relate to much is Buddhism and Christianity. I believe in Jesus. I know Jesus. Well, I ain't gonna say I believe in him. I know him. You know what I'm saying? Like I called on him, man. He helped me out. So I know Jesus. You know, but it is what it is. Like I have conversations with Jesus, like I do with y'all, and it is what it is. Like I know the man. He know me, and he know my belief system. He know what I'm doing and why I do it, and I don't care to explain it to anybody. You know, it's my life. It's my spirit. And my spirit guide knows who I am and what I'm about and how to get me to where I need to be. And that's just that, you know. So I don't have to believe in what people believe in because I know what's for me. And I encourage you to know what's for you. You know, a lot of Christians, they want you to believe what they believe, but they don't have any faith at all. And they don't even know God. When God talking to them, they can't hear him because they don't know him. And then when they do, some of them just don't want to listen. So how can your beliefs and your actions help me? When I die, you know, I'm going to have to deal with these spirits. And if I'm not spiritually inclined, I won't be able to spiritually transform and transition when the time comes. Just like we have parents and we have elders, we have guidance in this human realm to help transfer us to the next stages of life. You also have spirits that help transition into the spiritual realm, you know. And there are good spirits and bad spirits, just like there are bad elders and good elders. And peace and blessings. Thanks for tuning in. We getting deep. We talking about just life, you know what I'm saying? And everything. People believe what they want to believe, but at the end of the day, you know, what do you know for a fact? Because a belief can easily be changed, just like status can easily be changed, you know. One day you believe in Santa Claus, the next day you don't. It is what it is. One day you believe in the tooth fairy, one day whatever, right? Beliefs change is all I'm saying. And when you know something, you have something solid to stand on. But you got to know God for yourself. You got to know this world for yourself. You can't go by off everybody's experiences because you don't know the depths of their experiences or their challenges. But anyway, let's get into this, and then let's get into this money-making opportunity that I'm going to put y'all on. You know, I could lead you to the lake, but I can't teach you how to drink. You got to be willing to put the work in. Just like I could show you opportunities all day, but if you don't take action, then, hey, you just missing out, you know. I'm not wasting my time because I'm making money off my videos. It don't matter how many fucking views I get or nothing like that. Like, I got products on here for sale. My link's always out there. And then over time, it accumulates. So it's like a win-win, you know. It's never a waste of my time. The opportunities are always available, but at the same time, I'm always capitalizing off these opportunities. So I'm always pushing them and presenting them because it's what I use on the daily. It ain't nothing to get you rich right away, but it compounds over time. And then sometimes it give you a little boost, you know, you be right over the edge with it. God been taking care of me. My spirit's been leading me to being sustained and also to being prosperous. I'm not worried about surviving. Like Maya Angelou said, it's good to survive, but it's it's nice to survive, but it's classy and elegant to maintain and thrive. And I switched it up just a bit, but you get the drift. And I'll put the quote up so I won't misquote Maya Angelou. Well, yeah, I just did this so I could. Maya Angelou quotes about surviving. All right. Let my love stream through you, washing away fear and distress. A trusting response includes me in your thoughts as you consider strategies to deal with the situation. My continual presence is a promise, guarantee that you never have to face anything alone. My children tease on the truth that I have and that I am always with them. Yet they stumble around in yet they stumble around in a stupor, unaware of my loving presence all around them. How that grieves me. When you walk through a day and trust independence of me, my aching heart is soothed. Gently bring your attention back to me whenever it wanders away. I look for a persistence rather than perfection in your walk with me. Psalms 52 verse 8. And everything I've been doing been leading up to this, to being persistent and consistent. I'm persistent with my endeavors. I'm consistently working on it. So you see me whether I'm going live or dropping videos, I'm persistent with it. And I'm consistently doing it on a day-to-day, you know. Sometimes I push out more content, sometimes it ain't as much as I would like, but everything and all things are for my greater good. And all the things that I do is for the long run, you know. I'm not looking for no instant success. I even myself have courses that I haven't used yet because I've been spending my money on learning, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything you need to know ain't always gonna be out there for free. Sometimes you gotta invest in your education, just like you would invest in your health or you invest in your looks. You know what I'm saying? You'll go get a butt lift, you'll go get your eyebrow wax, you get your hair cut, you go shave. You know what I'm saying? For the guys, the ladies, whatever, right? You spend money and time on that shit, so why not spend money and time on learning how to make that money back? It's about sacrifices, you know, and putting yourself in position. Everything I do ain't always what I want to do, but it's what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got money now, but I'm waiting on my ROI, return on investment. And then a little extras, I'll burn it away. You know what I'm saying? On my stress. I spend money on stress, basically on smoking. I got some smoke too to grow, so it's like, after a while, that money will be added back. I could go, you know what I'm saying? Make it make sense, right? So it's like, shit, I'm constantly doing things to meet my future self. So when I look back time and time, I could be like, well, damn, why I wasn't helping myself out, you know? Why wasn't I putting myself in position? And it's only me, like the year almost over with. How many of y'all closer to y'all dreams? But for real, though, that's a question to think about. Like, how many of y'all closer to y'all dreams this year? You know what I'm saying? You got like 6 months left. How many of y'all actually been working on what you said you want to do this year? You know, how many of y'all actually been focused, or how many of y'all actually just been making excuses month after month, waiting on that perfect day, waiting on that perfect chance, or looking for the perfect opportunity? Why this ain't been day one of those many days? It's been like 180 days just about. And now let me make sure I'll pull up my little because I just did this about a week ago. I say about a week ago, and it was like 170 days in past. My homeboy, I was showing y'all, he do a video every day, and he posted like video 170, and I asked like how many days have passed, and it was exactly 170. So that's the only way I really know. You know what I'm saying? But I know it's 52 weeks in a year, and every week I'm doing something towards my goals. So that's for a fact. You know what I'm saying? Look at all my social medias, you'll see I'm not inactive. I was hot on TikTok until shit changed, but shit changed. You know, you got to change with the changes. If I sit there and keep looking at the fucking past, I'll be missing on my future. I'll be missing out on my present. The past can't help me do shit but learn from it, if anything, to learn. So I don't focus on that shit. I don't dwell there. You know, I'm in a happy place in the present. This gift that God gave me this day, and I enjoy it to the fullest, and I'm grateful throughout the day. And I always have more experiences to be grateful for other things. Because when the mind goes, the energy goes, and the attention goes, you know what I'm saying? All those three things are accordance with each other. I was on my YouTube talking about the power of three, the power of numbers. I believe I had made a video on here about that, but I'll do another, you know. I doubt people go through your catalog and see what all you've done and what all you're doing. I know people be watching, you know what I'm saying, but you could be a silent supporter. I don't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? It really don't bother me at all. Like, I ain't begging nobody to fuck with me or do anything for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing my shit and I'm focused on my shit. That's it. But I do know for a fact people be watching and then they want to come around like serendipity, a coincidence. Oh, how you doing? I'm kind of conversion, or you know what I'm saying, like conforming to what'll please you so that I can get what I want from you. And I'm not dumb. Like, I feel the vibes. My spirit already know when a motherfucker ain't coming correct. You know what I'm saying? I feel it. And I get an opportunity to see what it is. Like, I just watch it go by. You know what I'm saying? Like, I basically just, like, observe they ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, let me see if what my spirit is telling me is correct, which I already know, but I want to see how it's going to play out is what I was looking for. How this finna play out, basically.
The mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive. Maya Angelou.
And it was to thrive. It was like, to survive is nice, but to thrive is elegant. And maybe somebody else switched it up, and I just got what they said, and you know what I'm saying, what they posted. But I seen this just yesterday. So that's how I remember it. Like when I'm learning shit, I be remembering shit. And if I don't think I might remember it, I write stuff down that's important to me. Because I'm always educating myself, you know. I got kicked out of school because I was always teaching myself. The shit they was talking about didn't have nothing to do with my life experiences and what I was striving for. And plus I was out here, you know, like I grew up poor and that really played a major role in my life. Not poor, but middle class. When I grew up, a lot of parents, they was on drugs, or they was the parents that was selling other parents the drugs. And the ones who wasn't doing one of the two, they was trying to make an honest living. They was the middle class family, you know, trying to do what's right for their families. I grew up in that situation where I witnessed and experienced the other two. The kids who had everything, the new shoes, and this is when Jordan started popping out. Adidas was hot, all that type of shit, right? And I was still shopping at Payless because I didn't give a fuck about material things. I was cool with that. What up, bro? Peace and blessings. Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, I didn't grow up materialistic. I had a roof over my head. I always had food to eat. I always had clothes to wear. And I had loving parents that was trying their best for me. You know what I'm saying? So that was life to me, you know. And also growing up in a city, you know, they gang bang is violence. The streets will snatch you up because they need your help to be corrupt and to do the things that they doing, you know. And people wanted us to be in a gang. They used to get bullied low key, you know what I'm saying? And it ain't nothing a lot of people knew about, but it's what I experienced in my life, you know. I used to be bullied, not only verbally, but physically and mentally, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just looked at people like, wow, you know, I really want to connect with people. I like people. But people got a lot of different demons and the people got a lot of different views of life. And, you know, it's just interesting. It's an intricate journey getting to know myself as well as others. And then it just had me thinking like some people are really materialistic and inside they're very empty. And then I used to be like, you know, the ones that be like, oh, you wearing this, you wearing that. I couldn't control what I had or what I didn't have, you know. I just had what I needed. And also I seen other people who grew up with their parents was on drugs and it was a little worse for them. That was I consider to be poor. Their parents don't have enough to provide them for what they need because they're addicted to their downfalls, and it happens to a lot of us, whether it be drugs or it be sex and people catching AIDS and diseases, whether it be you got a love for food and then you become obese. It's a lot of different things that seem pleasurable at the times, but they can also be a downfall. So you have to be cautious of having too much of one thing because it could be a bad thing. You have to balance things out. Or that thing will be able to take you out and become your addiction, which I don't wish that on anybody. You know, people have challenges. But that's why I advocate for mental health awareness because I understand. I've been there. I've witnessed a lot of different things. And me helping myself is a way to help other people by putting out this information as far as how to manage anxiety and or stress. So that's what I do, and that's what I'm big on, because what I experienced growing up. But nevertheless, though, things change as they always do. And those kids who was talking stuff about not having the latest, because they had the latest, because their parents gave it to them. When their parents was locked up and they was out here on the streets trying to figure out how to maintain and manage, they was looking towards people like me who wasn't wrapped up in all this material shit, who had value and spirit, you know. That's all that my people really could have gave me was religion and spirituality. So I have faith knowing that better days do come. And I still know that for a fact this day, you know, better days do come. And when it rains, it pours. But everything under the sun happens for a reason. And those reasons are to be understood in time. So you just got to keep living, you know, you got to be living with a purpose. Every day I wake up and my purpose is to see who I can help today. Help them with a little bit of knowledge, help them with a different perspective of life, help them with an opportunity to make money online so they could gain a little confidence to know that this is simple, but it's not easy. And everything easy may not be simple. And I'll just break it down like it's simple to put videos out, right? making content, but it's not easy to make content. Like I had to learn how to make content. A lot of y'all be wondering like why my videos don't pop or if it do or it don't. You don't understand the process, and that's just all that it is. You know, you look at it as easy, you try it. It's simple to be done, but the success and the overall desire that you want to come from it isn't easy. So you get discouraged. You easily get discouraged, right? You give up. But what I do is what I'm passionate about, and I'm doing this with purpose. And also, I've learned these skills on how to create content. So all I'm saying is like anything can be learned. And also because you see somebody doing something, it might be simple, yeah, but that don't mean that it's easy. And just because something isn't easy don't mean it's not worth trying, you know? So a lot of stuff that I was doing was simple. I was learning simple little traits, simple ways to look at life different, simple ways to get out of my own way. And then the more I practice, the more I practice my craft, you know? Hold on. The more you do anything, the easier it becomes, especially with the content. Like I've been doing this for months and months and months. I'm coming up on a year. Even when I became a content creator, I mean, I was just having fun with it. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was doing what I was doing. I was persistent with it, you know? And my persistency started paying off. Now all of my social media accounts are monetized, like TikTok. Even though I don't be on there, I can still get on there and push it. I know how to grow a crowd. I know how to grow a following. And I know how to capitalize off that following. Like, I don't tell y'all a lot about my email list I got, whatever. But with my email list, like, that's my little pocket money. If ever I just cultivate that group and get them value, that's another way to maintain and make money. The same way with monetizing on social medias. So the thing with this digital marketing and content creating, you put yourself in position to have multiple streams of income. If you're doing it right, and also if you're learning how to do it. Just because it looks so easy don't mean that it's easy, but it is a simple process. And it's just take time to learn these type of things. Growing up the way I grew up, it taught me that you have to be putting yourself out there. You got to take chances in life. That don't mean everything is going to work out the way that you planned it, or it doesn't mean, what up? It doesn't mean that the results are going to be simultaneously right away. You know, you just got to believe in what you're doing and why you're doing it. And just trust the process. Like one of my cousins told me, I had something different going on and I was kind of doubting. And a lot of times what you feel in your heart, it just comes out through your words. So I had to really evaluate what I was doing and why I was doing it. And then I just realized, like, you know, I'm impatient. I'm living in a microwave society. I'm looking for instant results, and that's not realistic. So once I got out of that fantasy world of thinking everything would be instant, sometimes stuff do be, but you know, it is what it is, right? So I'm just learning every day how to trust my process and get out of my way and be persistent and consistent on making sure that I show up. Persistent on trying to educate myself and learn these skills, and then consistently on actively doing what I learned, putting my education to use. Because that's the thing, you know, a lot of people will buy a program and think the program is supposed to automatically make them money, or you'll post a video and think the video is supposed to automatically get the views. It don't work like that. You'll be highly disappointed, and that's not a realistic way to look at this. Not saying that it can't and won't happen, though. You can put a video out and a million views will come through in 2 minutes or whatever, you know, I don't know. Just throwing some hypothetical scenarios out. But it's like, you know, the more you do it, the more people see you. And also like this, like with last year, right, when I did my giveaways, I didn't make one post expected to go viral. I promoted for 30 days before I even did what I was going to do. So it was like, of course, I got other stuff going on. But for a whole month, I was just talking about what I'm finna do the next month. And that's just a small thing. But with the Content Academy, they was promoting that for 5 months. 5 months straight. So how many of y'all are willing to do something like that, you know? Just to see a vision that long and to be persistent with it. And consistent as well, you know? even though they big timers and big namers, it still took that time to be putting it out there. Like, yo, this is what we finna do. This is what we finna do. And that's what it is too. It's a simple process, but it's not easy. You'll get on there for a whole week, and then the person that you need to really be speaking to going to show up on week 2. And all of a sudden, you like, I'm burnt out. I don't even want to tell them what I got going on. That's finna happen a month later or 2 months later, whatever, right? And now you just miss your big shot. That's the same with what I did last year with my giveaways. Promoting, doing this. And then when the time come, I had 2 people signed up. So, you don't know what the turnout might be. But if you give up, you don't give yourself a chance. And that was a lovely experience for me, And big shout out to my subscribers last year, the 2 that participated in my little giveaway. This year I've been pushing it, but they're like, I got other stuff going on. Like, I don't really mind. I don't really care to be giving my shit away. And I ain't finna be sweating a motherfucker to get nothing from me either, though. But it's just like, I'm learning. And it's like, all right, whatever, right? The time coming up, it is what it is. I said what I said. I'm not really too much concerned, Y'all know what's going on, and you know how to get involved. But it is what it is, right? I'm pushing other things. I'm being received different opportunities. When you pursue your dreams and goals, opportunities they present themselves to you is what I was trying to say. Hold on, let me share something with y'all real quick. This is a little article I read just last night. I read a lot, and they be good reads. Only thing I really care about is finance and technology. But I do like to look at the news from time to time and see what's going on, because some of this shit affected me, like as far as with the bombings. That shit fucked up my money with the stocks and shit. I mean, I'm back now, but I don't got time for that type of shit, you feel me? But it's world things going on that I need to be paying attention to. All right, here we go, right here. Let me share this with y'all. This is real nice to read. And this is basically what I was just telling y'all earlier. You probably thought it was coming from me, but it was coming from this. All right, I'll read it all. Okay, we're now entering the dark of the moon phase as we approach the Cancer new moon on June 25th at 6:31 a.m. Eastern. These days are leading up to the new moon may feel heavy or emotionally intense, not because something is wrong, but because our shadows are surfacing, asking to be seen, especially in the United States, which is a Cancer sun nation, born July 4th. This lunar phase activates collective emotional memory and national reckoning, whether it's unhealed ancestral wounds, environmental trauma, or systematic injustice. The Cancer new moon doesn't let us look away, but it does remind us that we can choose to care more deeply and act more intentionally. Cancer's wisdom is this: you can heal what you are willing to feel. So, Cancer's wisdom is this: you can heal what you are willing to feel. A lot of us run from the feelings that we don't like, and therefore we don't deal with it and we don't heal from it. And this is really deep. This really resonated with me. I go through an array of emotions throughout the day. But that's why I talk about mental health, because the way that you feel does dictate the way that you act and the way that you engage with other people. I could be having a blast throughout the whole day, then all of a sudden just one moment slip by and I just get really down. I don't feel like I should be here. And like, what is life like? And that's just nothing but a low state, a mind at a conscious pool, a thought from the conscious pool that somebody else is feeling. And we all have these thoughts and feelings, but it's something that I just choose to let go and don't entertain those thoughts and let the feeling, it goes away just as like I never felt it. But it is possible, have a wonderful day, then all of a sudden here comes that. And that shit happens, I'm not perfect. I'm not exempt from feeling down either. But it's the way that you deal with it. It's the way that you face it head on. It's the way that you acknowledge what you are feeling, the thoughts that has come, and recognize, for one, is this something that's going to let me give you these 3 R's real quick, because this is powerful. And this is what really helped me throughout my days. Like, uh, think about these 3 R things. And there's a few questions I'm going to ask right after this. But, okay. First, I reflect, I repair, and I reset. Are these thoughts that help me with those 3 things? As I reflect, is this something that's going to help me? As I repair the broken feeling that I'm feeling. So the next thing is to reset. Reset the way I was thinking, reset the way I'm feeling, and let it go. But here go the 3 questions I got for y'all. And I'll read it out to y'all too, so you can check it out. Like, everything ain't worth being entertained, dog. So where'd I get this from? The previous week may have felt turbulent due to Jupiter squaring both Saturn and Neptune. And y'all can look into the moon, sun sign, shit, all that as you want. I ain't finna explain this shit right now. And the aftershocks are still rippling through our psyches. But this week, things quiet down just enough for us to reflect, repair, and reset. Cancer energy invites us to come home to ourselves, to slow our pace, listen more intently, and tend to what really matters. What them questions at? And I fuck with Cancers. We water signs. Pisces, Cancers, and Scorpio. But I'm going to leave that with that. And let me show y'all this other shit. But I'm going to show you what really happened since Sunday. Sunday night when they got the tweaking out. I just lost like $2. You see this? Man, this shit was looking ugly, dog. I was like, damn. And I be reading articles too that is telling me what was going on. And this is my retirement. I just took some money off of this to put it back over there because it was like, damn, And I regret doing this now, but it didn't cash in till like 9 this morning when the markets opened up. But why I'm showing you this is because, look, you could get you some, where they at? So I could put like $6,000 more on here until I max out. But where's my what you call it? I wish I could show y'all on my phone. I'm gonna screenshot it on my phone and then plug it. Oh, here they go right here. Damn, where they at? See, this is my list, but all my stuff ain't on here. Oh, here they go. Here go the ETF and stocks. This is what I really want to show y'all. I just spent yesterday putting this list together for y'all. You could use my link, cash that out a couple of days, and you could buy this EFT. And then let me show y'all. You could buy a few of these. Well, this one ain't been doing much. It's actually been falling off. But there's 32 holdings in here. They got basic materials, gold. All metals is going to always be of value. So you don't really got to worry about that. Especially they mining cryptos. That's fucking metals. And these are all of the assets in there. You got lithium, Sigma, standard lithium. Let me see. I don't even know what this is. But this is another company inside the company. And they worth $57 and they on the rise. So the power of this EFT is all these companies are in one portfolio. And they basically kind of give you more of a leverage. Aims to support worldwide clean energy transition by tracking an index of global companies in the lithium industry. Securities are selected based on revenue and weighed by market cap. We could get into this in a bit. But like they all different prices, like this one for $4, right? This for weed. You know that the cannabis industry been doing some numbers here in America. and other places, you know, it is what it is. Like, look, damn, that was 2021. They've been falling off for years. They got 25 holders in here, but they got healthcare. So this is a bad. They got a little bit of real estate and a little bit of technology. They not worth much because they not putting these things together the right way. Like, you need agriculture up in here. Technology, not so much. Consumer defense, why the fuck is this even there, you know? Now, healthcare and weed go together. You want weed to be like, or whatever type of drugs that motherfuckers come get, like, you know, you want it to be some type of benefits other than being dumb all day, you know? It just is what it is. You know, some of this stuff makes sense and some don't. Like this one right here. But that's why I got so many options, because you want to grow with a growing company. You don't want to hop in one that's been already to the top. And these younger companies, these newer companies coming up, and they growing. They learning from the mistakes of these people. You see, like 5 years ago, they've been falling off hard and fast. But now they didn't kind of start picking themselves back up. Look at it, a little bit. And that was just 1 week ago. They've been having a rocky road, but they still in the game, and that's what matters, longevity. And that's why I do this, you know. It ain't for no quick come up. I want to be growing year after year and not have to worry about it. You can put $20 in here and that'll grow your account. That it'll grow like over time. You might put $20 in here, a couple years later, you forgot all about the shit. Now your portfolio worth a couple hundred, or maybe a few thousands, who knows, you know, just like the people who bought Bitcoin when it was down. And just like the people who invest. Like, only motherfuckers who making money off this is the people who investing. You don't give yourself a chance if you don't take a chance. But yeah, these just different ones. Like, y'all could get in for the low, you know. I'm not no financial advisor, but disclaimer, it's possible, you know. You want to be smart with the shit, but you want to be definitely in position to give yourself a chance. I've been doing this shit for years. Let me show y'all. I'm not new to this shit at all. I got a whole forest page. I'll be on there every now and then. But I post with it every day, though. I got an event coming up this weekend. It's a free event. I'm trying to see when my I canceled that order. My gains and my losses. They just showed me on here, but let me see where it's at. There's new stocks to trade. I ain't finna stay on here for long, though. Like, shit, it is what it is, right? But, you know, you definitely want to give yourself a chance. Like, I'm up for the day. I've been coming up. But I got to flip the money around, though. Like, you know, you want to watch your investments. Like these, all the cryptos or whatever. Chainlink, $12. I go for the ones that, like, I could afford. You know, I do it off of what I could afford. I don't care, like, how much you want. Even if I could buy in on a little bit of one, I'll do it. Because why not, right? And there's two strategies people do as far as when it comes to this. So one makes sense to me and the other one don't. But at the end of the day, it's just what you're comfortable with. Sometimes being comfortable will make you miss out on money. It'll make you miss out on other opportunities that'll lead you to where you desire to be overall. But nevertheless, what I'm about to say is this. Some people will buy in, right? You'll buy something for cheap, and then they'll give you an option. And I'll tell you about this. Is like, the option is, do you want to automatically just start funding your account? Probably a little bit a day, or is this a one-time deposit? So you buy like a 50 cents crypto. They like, do you want to buy 50 cents every week, or, you know, every day, or every month? Like, do you want to reoccurring deposit on this? And you can say, yeah. And the thing about that is like this, right? I don't do it because, I mean, when I'm making money, I don't want it to automatically go to investments like that. I want it to either go pay my bills automatically, or I want it to be able to reinvest it somewhere else and put the money to the side. Basically let it work for me like that, not just be reinvesting, investing, because sometimes you need to get up out of that situation and capitalize in another area. So that's one reason I don't do it like that because, and another reason why that could be a good thing is this, right? So you might have some consistency coming in and you just putting it over there. And after a while, it's not a lot anyway, 50 cents a day or a month or whatever. Over time, you might fuck around and bought like a few more extra coins because the prices do go up and down. And even if it never goes back down, you'll always have a little bit more of percentage, a little more leverage in the game. So like you buy something worth $2, you only got 50 cents. So now you got like 25% of that equity. And the more you put in and the more it grows, your equity keeps going up and up. But you'll never have a full amount unless you purchase a full amount. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like you have more and more of pieces of the pie, but never the full thing. My strategy is different. I buy enough of one thing, I profit, whatever I profit with, and then I take half of those profits and put it into another situation and let my profits keep going until it comes to a point where I start eating out of my profit. Then I'll get out and I'll leave with some profit. And that's how I do. I capitalize like that. It's called scaling. I'm basically like scaling or whatever, like day trading, you call it too. But I don't do it often, you know what I'm saying? Like I do long trades for the long run, and I do day trade from time to time. But majority of the times, the things I do is for the long run. Like I like to let it sit and grow, and gain interest. Like with my ETFs, this is kind of new to me, but I've been wanting to do it. But really, what I usually do is with the stocks, I grab a company that pay dividends, and I just hold on and grow with them for as long as I can. And I believe one off the top of the bat is like Ford, GE, General Electric. Those two I used to fuck with a lot. St. Barbara. They just got liquidated. They haven't paid me yet. I think they did. Yeah, they did. That was earlier this year, matter of fact. So that's another thing too, like holding on to one company, right? If they fuck around and lose the business and they go to liquidation, you lose out. And depending on how many shares you have with them, they'll just pay you out for that. So that's a situation that happened to me too. Like, just having it sit ain't a good thing either. That's why I always watch it, because that can't happen. At any time and any day, any company could go bankrupt and be fucking around, have to get up out the markets. Or switch up their whole situation and go under a different name or whatever. The legal things they got going on. I don't know. It's not my business. But as far as what I'm concerned with is, am I growing with this company or not? And if they're growing out of business, of course I'm not growing with them, and I need to move accordingly, right? Grab my little assets and take it somewhere else. But that's what that's about. So you don't want to just be like, oh, it's going to do this for me. Just like you'll buy anything. Like, it ain't going to automatically work for you. You got to work that shit. A microwave will heat up your food, but it ain't going to automatically just turn itself on and heat your shit up. A TV will entertain you with whatever you watch on TV, but it ain't going to just turn itself on unless you tell it to, or unless you push that button. And then even on top of that, you got to stroll through different frequencies, different channels, different programs that you want to be programming into your mind. So, it just goes to show, like, just because you have something doesn't mean it's going to do what it's supposed to do unless you're doing. A lot of this stuff needs a little bit of guidance. It ain't like somebody who's self-made, and they're self-efficient. Those type of people, they're responsible, they're conscious, and they take risks. Calculated risk, not just no goofy shit just because. That's the same thing as with these investments. They're calculated risks. I'm checking out the history of the company, just like I just showed y'all the list I put together. That don't mean that I'm finna go buy into them. It's just I'm checking out the history of them. I'm getting to learn these companies and see if it's a good investment and if I should make that move or not. Because some of these companies, like, as far as the stocks, like, people are renting out my stocks. So I'm getting paid off dividends. I'm getting paid off the company gains. And I'm getting paid off the people that's renting out my shares. That's the powerful thing about buying more than one share at a time. That's the way I do it. I buy more than one crypto at a time, one coin at a time. So let me tell y'all this: cryptos is just digital money. Cryptos is different cryptos. It's cryptocurrency, dead money. Crypto. That's what it means. So I'll buy a few different coins. And what I'm saying is like I'll buy one coin but multiple of them. So that's what I'm saying. And why? Because once they go up, each coin is going up. I have 19 chances of going up from off of one situation, you feel me? Or I might have 1,000 chances of going up, but most people I don't have it like that. They'll buy in 10,000 coins, they'll buy in 1,000,000 coins, whatever they could afford. But the more you have, the more you make. So that's just what that's about. And when it comes to these stocks, the more shares you have, the more opportunities you have for the dividend payout for the stock lending. Somebody could be lending, borrowing one of yours, and you get paid for that until they're done with it. And then the company itself will be paying you either every other month or however often they pay out the dividends for you having shares in there, for you having some holders of their shares in the company. And that's why I wish I had my phone. I just screen record it. Because I could show y'all there's many times as I lended out my stocks. And I don't do it myself, it's automatically done. They'd be like, this stock is being lended out and you're going to get paid this amount of much. And the money come in first before they let you know like what stock. You just be like, where this come from? And then they'll show you like this money came from this stock, this person holding on to it with you. And it's a nice little situation to double up, you know what I'm saying? Even if you just got in off of a referral, you got your free 5, you switched it over, or you so happen to pick a stock that has dividends, or somebody just wants your share and then they fuck around buy it. They rent it out for you. And I was making like, I think that was St. Barbara. I don't remember. I had a few of them that do this, but I switch up my shit over time. Especially depending on what's going on in the world. You know, like as far as with the bombings, that affected our American currency, and that's how the prices dropped. Like they got up out of there because we shared this, and we was talking about making this a global thing. So once that happened, of course they're gonna back down. They're gonna take their money out, and it's gonna affect the overall thing. Because majority of it is their shit, their money is in it, and we trying to capitalize off of it too. You know, just like with the Binance US. It's a way that you can trade off of. That's why I was buying my cryptos off of at first. But it's not an app or a website that's in America. They were sharing it with us so we could have access to these things. And then all of a sudden they put it on our US platforms. That's how I end up using this one right here, what I'm on now Before I had it on their platform and they just switched it over to America. I couldn't even use it like that for like a couple months. And I'll show you too what I'm talking about. Like, you probably listen like, whatever. Like, I don't be capping about shit. Like, this is my experience I'm sharing. It might sound weird and strange, but it is what it is. I've been doing this shit for long enough to know, like, you know, the changes that happened. And the changes are currently still happening. That's my home, girl. Binance. I forgot how to spell it. Here it is. I'm spelling it right. This the Binance USA. This is it right here. This just came to America. But I've been having this shit for 2 years ago. They was giving me this shit for free. All I had to do, I was mining these coins. That's how I ended up even having these. And then my homeboy OG Dre React, he was like, he said something about this shit and it made me think. It reminded me that I had coins over here, the same coins he was talking about, but on this platform. So I was like, damn, let me see how much I got, you know, because I was getting them for free and I forgot about it. Well, I ain't going to put this on there, but you see the fucking thing, right? Binance US, this is not an American situation. This shit just came over here. But I've been using it, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I was talking about as far as the world. This is overseas situation that they, like, here y'all go. This ain't no shit you got to worry about tariffs and shipping fees and all this and that. Damn, my phone about to die.